Everyone. So nice to have you with me tonight. I'm just waiting to make sure that I go live. I've got my computer right on the other side of the camera, and so that kind of tells me when I go live. And it looks like it cuts in, so I guess I have to remember to stop. So what I started with was, hi everybody, I'm glad you could join us. Crash is here tonight. I know he wasn't here last night. And oh, there he is. He's like, oh, don't bother me. But hi, Sheila. Hello, Reba. It's hot in Houston, huh? It was a beautiful, beautiful Maine day here today. It's supposed to be nice all weekend. And then it does start to warm up a lot for us, 89, upper 80s. Early next week, but then it cools back down. I think then we've got some rain coming, but my son Matthew already asked me when the hurricane's coming. I'm like, never. Like, we don't really get that stuff here, and if we do get it, it's not really what other people would consider a hurricane, which I'm very thankful for. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I have a fun project for you tonight, and I just realized that I left my embossing machine over there, so I'm gonna have to go get that at some point. But I'm gonna turn you down, and we're gonna get started. So I was cleaning this morning, and I hope I can find what I need to work with tonight. I'm sure it's around somewhere. Let me turn you down and then we will get started. Make sure that if you are logged in, go ahead and say hi in the chat, and I will turn you down in just a sec. All right, let's see. Oops. Dirty desk. Let's see. Oops. My holder. I'm pretty sure I need a new one. Let's see. Oh, this is just not going smoothly tonight. Ooh. Let's see. That's not too bad. That's better right there, I think. Now tighten up all the little thingies to tighten and make sure that it stays firm. Looks like, oops. No, see, that didn't stay firm. I don't know how to make that one work. Maybe if I don't touch it. Maybe that's the key. Nope, that's not the key. Hold on, let me slide it. Let's see, I think I can slide it a little bit more in. That gives it a little bit better balance. All right, we're gonna call that pretty good, I think. All right, and fortunately, what I need was with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's rather helpful. What's everybody doing tonight? As I get the cardstock ready. I was going to go get ice cream again tonight, but then I remembered that I needed to make cookies for a wedding tomorrow, because the bride just said, asked anybody that wanted to make cookies could bring some cookies. So I said I would. So I stopped by the store and got some stuff for that. Of course, got enough so that I could make a little bit extra. I got to try them out, right? Because, that's just the way you got to do it. Got to try them out so you can make sure they're edible for everybody. All right, we are going to be, because we are in an in color sale right now, I'm going to be using an in color. Namely, guess which in color this is? Anybody? I know Sheila's going to guess it. Does help being a demonstrator. But this is an in color that we are going to be working with tonight. And I'm also going to be working with one of my favorite supplies. And you probably can't really see that here, but let me see. This is the Sunflower Embossing Folder. Reba, it's back in stock. So this is back in stock, which I'm very thankful for because I need to start ordering. Darling Duckling, that is correct. This is Darling Duckling, Sheila. We're going to have to start ordering. I'm going to have to start ordering this for my August Clubhouse class because usually I don't include a non-consumable item as part of my Clubhouse kits. But I think this is a folder that everybody should own. And so this and the tiny bee trinkets are going to be what comes in the kit, as well as all the cardstock and any other ribbon and stuff that you need to create 8 cards. So it's 2 each of 4 different designs. And this is by mail or it's an in-person class, either one. The in-person class is on August 23rd. So that's why I need to get this ordered, because we also had a pre-order for demonstrators right now. And that means that lots of orders and a little bit of backup on shipping. So I'm going to expedite this to make sure that I've got everything in time. I already expedited one order. It's sitting across the room. It's got all sorts of great Christmassy stuff and fall stuff in it. But this is just an amazing folder, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to take this piece of Darling Duckling, and this is one of the largest folders that we have. It's 6 inches wide, and I don't know, it's like it's about 8.5 tall. Now, what I found is it doesn't really like to go through the machine if you go all the way to this fold. So you have to back off just a little bit on that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to find where I want my flowers. I think I want them down here at this end, actually. So I'm gonna emboss this area right here. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so it is extra thick. And let's get our pieces that we need to do this with. We need our number 1 plate and our folder with the fold going in first. And then the number 4 plate. Let me see if I can tilt my camera just a little bit more. Oops, wrong tilt. Hold on. Maybe this will help it. That looks good. All right, so we're gonna run this through. It really is such a gorgeous folder. And you can, I'm doing this in yellow like a sunflower, but you can do it in any color. The sneak peeks that I have of my class, I'm gonna just show you. Let's see. I'm gonna show you one. And this is actually not finished yet, but this is a sneak peek of what we'll be doing. So I'm going to show you several different techniques using this folder. And I'm going to show you another one tonight, so it's almost like a bonus. All right, so you can see the sunflowers on here. And what I'm going to do, I guess I can do it now. I can do it now or later, doesn't really matter. I'm going to take some early espresso, and I'm going to add a little bit of early espresso to some of the middles, some of the centers of this flower. And I'm just using a sponge dauber, so that doesn't make it, totally accurate. It spills over a little bit into some places, but I'm okay with that. So just another way you can do it is you can take a Stampin' Right marker, and you can kind of just run it over the top with that as well. Like if this isn't dark enough for you, which it's really hard because that's really little, you could just take the edge of your Stampin' Right marker, and you see how that's just picking up those dots right there? Okay, now one thing I don't like is it just picks up the dots, so if you want to go darker, you just press in a little bit more, and that darkens the center. I don't like that nearly as much, but you can do it. Probably a better thing to do would be to take like a brush or a water painter. I don't have any water in my water painter, but let me show you what I could do. Because I've got a little bit of extra ink around here, and I've got a bottle of water sitting nearby, so we're just going to use that. I'm going to just dip it in. I will not drink that later. All right, so if I just take some of this ink, okay, I'm not going to use this one, so I could just kind of color over the top with this too. And so then you get a really nice look there. So it's a little bit softer with the dauber. It's a little bit darker, more pronounced, more defined, I'd say, with the water painter or a paintbrush, whichever you have. We no longer carry water painters because the manufacturer stopped manufacturing them. So, and Stampin' Up! Hasn't found an alternative yet, to my knowledge. Okay, so another thing that we can do is we can take our darling duckling and take a sponge dauber, and we can just sort of brush on some more color to this, to the sunflowers, just to define them a little bit more. And as you can see, I am not taking a ton of time to do it. I'm just brushing that right over. If you want to have it a little bit darker in the middle than on the ends, that's fine too. You do it however you want to do it. But you can see how that just brings that right out. Let's see, I think I really do want to have this one too. Now this is going to take a little bit of time, this particular project that I'm doing, because I am going to have to fussy cut. But I promise you, this particular project is worth it. I should have kept this open. I should have kept my water out too. It's getting a little bit dry. All right, we'll water it down a little bit. And just go in here, and that really looks pretty good, I think. All right, so we have that done. And now, as promised, I'm going to do some fussy cutting. And you know what I might do right in here? See, I have the luxury of knowing what I'm doing with the finished project. So I'm gonna see if I can make this one work, and then that other last one that I just did work. So I'm just cutting around the edges of the petals. I'm not worried about the leaves at all, although if I wanted to bring in a green, I could certainly do that. But I am just going with the Darling Duckling and the Early Espresso right now. I'm gonna bring in some gold a little bit later. We're gonna be making a shaker card, or what some people call a faux shaker card. But I don't know if a faux shaker card is really an appropriate term, because that implies that it's not really a shaker card, but when you shake it, it shakes. So I think that makes it a shaker card. Make sense? All right, now for this, I'm just gonna, I know that one side of this flower is not so great, but that's okay. It's not the side I'm gonna use. So tell me, everyone, what has your week been like? Anybody got any good news to share? I guess thunderstorms tonight is not good news for Reba. Hey, Sheila, remember when we were in Houston for the Stampin' Up! On stage, and they had that really bad thunderstorm with the hailstorm across the city? We were in a hotel room that was floor-to-ceiling windows on one wall, and I kind of liked it. I have a son that really does not like thunderstorms, so I got to enjoy it a little bit, but Sheila not quite as much a fan as I was. And honestly, you know, when I kind of heard about the devastation across town, there was a rodeo going on and lots of people running for cover and lots of cars damaged severely by hail. Then I guess I kind of changed my mind a little bit. I wasn't so happy for the people in Houston who had to deal with that. Okay, so I've got that done. Now what I'm gonna do is I need to make a card. So I'm bringing in a card base of Early Espresso, and I've already got that cut. And then I'm gonna look through my Neutrals Designer Series paper, and I'm gonna grab the Mossy Meadow. All right, let's see if I can find, oh, there's my Mossy Meadow. And one of these has leaves. There's a couple different patterns in here. Let's see if I can find the other one. So one of the patterns is flowers and just stuff on the back of the other one, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. And then one pattern has leaves and then some weird kind of stripes. So that's what we're going to use. I'm gonna put my one I don't need back. And I'm gonna make this into a card. So this is gonna be my card layer, and it's gonna be a landscape card. So I want this to be 4 inches across this way by 5 1/4 the other way. So just a standard kind of layer. All right, and then I'm going to find my clear envelope, which is very hard to find because it's clear. I'm going to find my clear envelope, and I'm going to put this layer inside, and I want to put it so that it's the part where you peel off is facing down when I put this in. Now this is larger than the envelope, so we're going to push it to one end, and we're going to fold over this top and tape it, and then we're going to fold over this and make that work too. But before I do that, I want to put in some loose gold sequins. These make beautiful shaker cards. So let's see if I can get a little spoon out, because I tried using my fingers earlier and that just kind of made a mess. So I'm just going to put a little bit in. A little goes a long way. And I'm making sure that this is all the way down and all the way to the end. All right. And then I'm going to, let's go ahead and seal it first. And I'm going to bring it all the way over here. Okay, so that I'm keeping it pretty tight end to end. And then I'm going to take this part right up here, and I'm going to tape that down just with some regular tape. You can use tear and tape if you want to. I'm just going to use regular tape. It's not going to show at all. And I'm going to just cheat the ends in just a little bit, because I don't want them to show. And it doesn't actually look like it's going to show on that side, so bravo. All right, so now we have a little shaker. And then we get to place our flowers. So I can see that I have, because of the way the edge was on, naturally I didn't have to cut this at all. This would look very nice right up in that corner. Now, can I make this one fit? Yes, I can, because I can always just trim around it. So I'm going to bring in my tear and tape. Let's see, do I have one handy? Yes, I do. I'm just going to bring in my tear and tape, and I'm going to put some tape along the back. You definitely want a nice strong adhesive. I don't want dimensionals on this. They'll stick fine, but I don't want it on this part. And then here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it directly here. And it doesn't go very high. I just want to make sure that it doesn't show. Yeah, it's not going to show. And then what I can do is, I know this is going to be on the card. I'll put it right there. All right, so now I'm just going to peel this off. Now, for those of you who do craft shows and stuff, these clear envelopes are a great way to show off your cards and still protect them from little fingers that probably aren't so little. All right, so we've got that there. Tear and tape is nice and strong, so you can expect a good hold. And I'm just going to put that right up in this corner. Make sure it's nice and straight, which it is. All right, and now I'm going to trim along this. And I want to make sure I don't trim the envelope itself, because I don't want my little sequins to fall out. So I'm just sort of angling it just a tad under there. All right, and so now I still have my shaker going on. Let's take my card and we are going to adhere it with some tear and tape. And I'm just going to put a little bit on each of these ends. Help it lay down a bit. So this is a really easy way to make a shaker card. And honestly, if the recipient is a paper crafter, and you know, after they've sufficiently admired your work and displayed it, if they wanted to recycle those sequins, they certainly could. I'm just going to put this right on here like a normal card front. And now all we need is a sentiment. And the sentiment that I wanted to use was from a set that actually is not at my house at the moment. So I decided I'd pull in the something to say. And I noticed that even though this is probably crushed curry, it's going to look fine right there. I'm going to put, it's your birthday. So this has all sorts of little sayings in all sorts of different colors. This page kind of came apart, but you can see a little bit more of them there. Here's to you, shine on. Heck yeah. Sorry to be sappy, but you make me happy. Today is about you. That's a good one too. In fact, I could probably put that on the inside if I didn't want to stamp at all. I think I will. And it does coordinate. Or I could do on the inside, I could do this little celebrate. I could even put that here, but I don't like it quite as much there. So I'm just going to use those two things right there. This I will put up on dimensionals. Let's see here. I've got some dimensional edges I want to use. Let's use up this small one first. So these had mini dimensionals on them, but we can make the big ones work. Oops, I think. I'm going to fortify that center a little bit too. As far as I'm concerned, these are just bonuses because one, they come from the paper pumpkin. They're extras. And two, they're from the edges. So it's like a double bonus, double freebies here. And so here we have, it's your birthday. And we have a fun little shaker card. Now all we got to do for the inside is get a mat of white, which I did not cut ahead of time. I usually have a stockpile of them. I will often cut a bunch of these down to 4 by 5 1/4 or 3 3/4 by 5. I'll do that ahead of time. I'll do a bunch of them just so I don't have to worry ever about not having them. But I'm out, so this is going to go here, but you know what? I still have a flower over here. So I could do a little trimming around this and add it to the inside as well, because you can do that. Just a matter of how much you like fussy cutting. If you don't like fussy cutting at all, my guess is you're not going to do this. But you have to get a little creative when you are using an embossing folder and not stamping your focal points. So I'm just going to cut another one for the inside. It really doesn't take that long. They're mostly straight cuts. Wiggle around very few things, straight or curved cuts. It's really quite easy. But what an interesting card for someone to get. That nobody's going to be expecting the movement that is in this card. I'm pretty sure I've got enough here to make it good. So I could do that. Let's go ahead and get my tear and tape out again. And again, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna put a little down here. And then I'm gonna put a bunch up here. All right, let's see. Make sure we get this. I think that's going to be good. So now all we have to do is flip this over, trim it in here. And now with this, you can put it up here, or you could put it down here. You can get a little creative sometimes with how you place your sentiments. Maybe even just wedge that under there a little bit. And so today is about you. You still have got plenty of space up there to write, and you can sign your name down below. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, this is the first time I've used the green glue tonight too. That's kind of amazing. Most of you know green glue is my thing. I like it. It's forgiving. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to put this all in that center. And here we go. So I have decided that I am going to close the registration for my sunflower class tomorrow at noon, just because I have a wedding to go to tomorrow later in the afternoon, and then I'm working Sunday, and I just don't want to, I can't monitor it, the inventory right now. It's not showing low inventory, but I just want to make sure that I get everybody that wants that they get it. So I'm going to close it a little bit early so that I can expedite and not have to worry about it the rest of the weekend. But here is our card. The link is going to be in the description of this video if anybody still wants in. And what do you think? Kind of cute, right? I think I like it. I think I might. I wonder if I can move this down just a little bit. Nope, I can't. It's perfect just the way it is. I would probably move it down a little bit, but there we go. There is just a pretty easy shaker card. And look at how sparkly and shiny those gold sequins are. Really, really cute. I really like this. And of course, you can always use the sequins as they're, if you just put them on a glue dot, then you have adhesive backed ones, and then you can stick them down as normal. But I love that they're loose. Did you know that I learned this recently? There is one of the designers who often likes to make shaker cards with her projects. And I had kind of figured this out, but she reinforced it. She often will use regular adhesive backed sequins, and she will remove the adhesive from each sequin so that she can make a shaker card with those sequins. I'm like, ooh, I'll take these loose sequins, thank you. But I don't want all my sequins loose. I just want these ones loose. There we go. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Stay safe, Reba, in your thunderstorms, and I hope the skies clear soon. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you on Sunday for Scrappy Sunday.